True Warrior Football. True Warrior Football. True Warrior Football.
You are listening to True Warrior Football Podcast with your host, Corey Kid Smith.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Man, look, I tell you, it has been a very, very interesting week, being off. Had the victory against Cathedral. I'll get into that. But, man, last week, just had to take a mental break. Content creation, if you've never done it, it is a haul. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. So, that last week, not having a game, not having to prepare to put out a show. Really, I was going to, but as the days went by, I was like, I'm gonna take a break, relax, get myself together, enjoy the little time off. And really, it was great for me. Great for me. But now we're back. Okay? It's playoff time. Let's get ready to go. Before I can get on the playoffs, gotta talk about what happened in our regular season finale. Home victory over Cathedral, the Fighting Irish. 34-28 was the final score. It was 34-26. We ended up having a Dan Orlovsky style end of the game safety, but it was a safety that we did on purpose. So that was the game. Let's go back to the game. Let's go back. There were a lot of things leading up to that game I thought we were going to do. And you know what? Since our defeat to Lawrence North, a lot of things have really changed. Offense has been showing a lot of poise and getting better and improving. We had some issues in the first half against Lawrence North. We had a pick six, our second defensive touchdown we've given up this season. That got us behind the 8 ball there. I think that was in the first quarter on offense's first or second drive of the game. And then from there, offense, we were driving, and unfortunately, we turned the ball over in the red zone. 2 early mistakes, one in the first quarter, one in the second quarter. But from there, really, we took care of the ball very well. Quarterback Anthony Dennison had, I think, his best start of the season. Of course, he's only had 2 starts, but we were able to get the ball up. Wide receiver Eric Hester and him have had a great rapport and great connection so far in the season. And they connected on this touchdown right here. They got offense's second touchdown of the night. The first touchdown came when the defense was able to get this fumble right here. Shout out to Devontae Dungy for this. Although Devontae get in the end zone. Scoop and score, son. Scoop and score. That was a huge turning point for the team. Made it 14-7 thanks to the touchdown run here by Marcus Bell. Then from there, we're going to halftime 14-7. I want to say Cathedral adds a field goal. Cathedral adds a field goal, makes it 17-7. Then the Anthony Dennison pass to Eric Hester right here gets it to be 17-14. And really from there, we really did a lot of great things, man. 20 points scored in the fourth quarter. Our most points scored in the fourth quarter this season. And that was just huge. We had 2 touchdown runs from Marcus Bell again, and then another touchdown run right here that really sealed it from Anthony Dennison. And, Cathedral adds on another touchdown in the game. but really, we played Warren Central football in that second half, and just ran away with it. It was at 27 points scored in the second half. I don't think 27. That may be the most points we scored in the second half, possibly. But right now, offense is doing some really good things. We ran the ball a little bit better than what I initially thought we would do. I think what we're going to get in the playoffs right now, Kindergarten, guys like Brandon Bobo, James Clark, Jalen McBoy, those guys right there are going to be, I think they're going to be a force. Our offensive line has greatly improved, doing some great run blocking. We're going to attack down the field in our rushing game. And our passing attack, we're still getting better on it. Eric Hester, like I said, he's proven, I think, probably our best offensive weapon. But don't sleep on Chaz Corley. We cannot sleep on Chaz Corley because Chaz Corley is a player that has shown he can be a force, really, and possibly our best wide receiver on this team. Hey, girlie. So, yeah, right there, we have some great things going for it. Javon Guest was able to come out and make some big plays. Keith Jackson had some phenomenal pass plays himself. He had this great pass, and then he comes around and catches a great catch on the very next play as well. We got playmakers on this team. We have playmakers on this team, and I think we're getting right where we need to be as the playoffs are coming around, and I can't wait. I absolutely cannot wait. Another thing, defensively, we are just clicking on all cylinders. Like I said, we had the fumble recovery right there from Devontae Dungy, and then we had 2 interceptions, one by my guy, Fats, Armonte Jackson. Score, please. Thank you. Come on now. You got one guy to beat. It's a quarterback. Come on now, Fats. But that's teasing, man. Love you. And then Madden Barrio right here with this great interception that set up another touchdown for the offense. Just spectacular. We are playing some truly tremendous football defensively right now. Cathedral came in as one of the better rushing attacks in 6A, and we were able to limit them to nothing. Absolutely nothing. And they just, they couldn't stop us. They couldn't block us. Jeremy Finch was making plays. Jeremy Finch Jr. making plays all over the place. Shanklin and Burris were a force. And, of course, Marcus Bell. Marcus Bell is just a terror. Kyrene Weems made plays. We have so many talented defensive linemen. It's very hard for any team to handle us on each and every play time and time again. What I will say that really impressed me with this game, because coming into our game, we had just had all the turnovers we forced. We just had one turnover lead to a touchdown. Or 2 touchdowns, I'd say. That was back in week 2 against Warsaw. And the 3 turnovers that we forced on last Friday night's game, each of those turnovers resulted in a touchdown. That was the first time that's happened all season for us, where the offense went right back down and got a touchdown, not a field goal try or anything like that, or just we're going to run out the clock to end a half or end the game. No, they resulted in touchdowns. Flat out resulted in touchdowns. And that was highly impressive. Now I think our touchdown or turnover to touchdown ratio is like 20% now. I have the graphic right here. So that's that. And also, most importantly, can't really add in the defensive touchdown that the offense gave up. That doesn't really count there towards the defense. But there was another interception that we had in the red zone, but still we were able to come out and force a 3-and-out punt. And so our turnovers to touchdowns on the other side is down to 4%. So that right there is really, really key and critical. Once again, we have to continue to take care of the ball on offense, and on defense, get takeaways. We have to continue to make sure our team is getting as many possessions as we possibly can, as we possibly need. Whether that's getting, like we had a block punt in games prior, or stripping the ball from running back, quarterback. We have to continue to make sure we're getting as many opportunities to score on offense as we possibly can. In great field position as well, and offense has to make sure that we're capitalizing on these opportunities. So that is one thing I like where we're headed. We end the season with a +4 turnover margin. Not the greatest. I would have liked to seen that be much higher. I would like to say we end the season being +10 or higher. But it is what it is. It's the hand we've dealt, and that's where we are right now. We're 8-1. Hey, you know what? We are in a great position to make a great run here. We now move on to face the Tech Titans, a team we've not faced since 2011 in the sectional semifinal that year. I want to say we won the game by like 50 points or something like that. It was a huge blowout at their place. Last win of the season that year for us, as we went on to lose the sectional championship against Carmel the next week. But first time our two schools have met since 2011. They are 3-4. They've not really played a lot of teams in 6A. They've had one game against a team from 6A, and that was Lawrence North, and they got shut out. What was that? 35-0. Got shut out 35-0 against Lawrence North. They've been shut out 3 total times this season. 2 other times outside of that, held to under 7 points another time. They just, us and them, this is no competition. Really, when you look at sectional 7 that we're in, outside of us, the sectional has 7 wins total. 4 from Perry Meridian, 3 from Tech, 0 from Southport. So you're looking at a combined record of 7-18. And we have 8. We have 8 wins, and and 3 other teams in our sectional have a combined 7. We are by far head and shoulders above everybody else in our sectional. You look at the last 2 years, I think we've given up 1 score in our sectional last 2 years. But we have to respect our opponents. We must respect our opponents, because I'm pretty sure when the team in 2010 and the team in 2021, they were coming into the sectional, both times against LC, randomly, they didn't think that their season would be over after 1 game. And sure enough, their seasons were over after 1 game. So we had to respect the Tech Titans, respect what they do. They're coming to our house as a away game, but we're playing at home. They're going to do a lot of crazy stuff probably. Probably do a lot of formations, stuff we haven't seen all year. We have to be ready for it. They have nothing to lose. They have absolutely nothing to lose. We got to be ready for it. We absolutely have to be ready for it. And if people think, oh, well, you know what? We're a team that's 8-1. We're going to do, guys. I looked. There were 8 teams that were ranked in the top 10 in the 4 classes that played last week: 4A, 3A, 2A, and 1A. There were 8 teams total with a record of 7-2, 8-1, or they were undefeated that lost in the opening round of playoffs. Okay, it can happen. It can happen, and it will happen, and we have to be ready. We have to be ready for whatever this team throws at us. We have to be ready for if we turn the ball over, if we get in a position where they have the ball on our 5-yard line. We have to be ready. We've been in bad situations before all season. We have to answer again. We have to be ready for whatever this team brings at us this upcoming Friday night. And on top of that, people want to say, I hear things all the time about, oh, well, you know what? This team, they can't beat us. And guys, look, I've seen a team turn the ball over 6 times in a game and still win that game. It just happened this past week in the college football. Duke versus SMU. Okay, now granted it's college, but you know what? SMU turned the ball over 6 times. And what did Duke not do? They didn't convert those turnovers into touchdowns. Okay, I'm looking here. Turnover on downs. There's another one that was a halftime. They ran out of time. Another punt. Another field goal attempt that was missed. Another punt. Field goal attempt that got blocked. That stuff right there, you get those opportunities, you're going to lose. And then you have another game where a defense, forces 5 turnovers. 3 of those, they convert themselves for touchdowns. That's the Pitt versus Syracuse game. All right. Pittsburgh forced 5 Syracuse turnovers and converted 3 of those themselves into turnovers. Pitt only scored 14 points. Boom. Simple math. 21-14. You win. All right. They may say, oh, well, Corey, that's college. That don't really, that doesn't correlate. Oh, you don't say. Well, let's go into the Wayback Machine. Okay. Let's go back into the Wayback Machine. 2016. Okay. 2016, you had Carmel, the Greyhounds, versus Center Grove in the state championship game. All right. In that game, Carmel turned the ball over 6 times. All right. 6 times they turned the ball over. And what did Center Grove do with those 6 turnovers? Fumble, field goal. They had another fumble, a punt. And one other fumble, they turned to a touchdown for themselves. A fumble that they had, resulted in a fumble. Then 2 interceptions resulted in 2 more punts. Okay? When you're getting the ball like that, and you're not making other team pay, you put yourself an opportunity to where you're vulnerable to whatever happens at the end of the game. And Center Grove lost the state championship, forcing 6 turnovers. All right? They say, oh, well, Corey, that doesn't sound like anything Warren do. Guys, we turned the ball over 5 times against Pike. Okay? Maybe more than that. I have to go back and check and see. It may have been 6 times. And we forced 5 interceptions and had to really battle in a game with them where we had to have 2 red zone stops back to back in the second half. All right? And Pike is a team that we have to respect as well because we've seen them be able to put up points. So, once again, we have to respect our opponent. We have to come into this game knowing that anything can happen. That, offense can have a bad night. Heck, I keep saying offense. Offense may have a great night. Defense may be the ones with a bad night. We could be in a shootout. We don't expect it to happen, but it could happen. It absolutely could happen. We just have to be ready. This is a time of the year. There's no more guarantees. There's no tomorrow. There's no, oh, well, you know what? We'll get ready for practice next week after this game. And, if we don't turn out with it. No, there's none of that. There's no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There's no going back and saying, oh, man, I'm going to get better for next week. No, that's over and done for. No more guarantees. No more guarantees. And if you've been in this program, if you've been around here long enough, you know that if you don't come ready, come prepared in the game, you will get beat. So that is that. I'm looking forward to seeing what this team can do Friday night and taking care of business. But that's enough about that. It's been far too long since I've talked about our guys at the next level. So let's do that real quick. right, we are back, and first I got to talk about some of our guys playing locally here. Butler University has two of our guys, Devin Holman and Derek Allen, and the Butler Bulldogs are 6-2 right now. They're having a great season. Devin Holman had an injury at the start of the season. He had to sit out, miss a couple games, but he's come back in a great way. He's had 2 interceptions, one of which being this pick 6 right here, his first defensive score of the season. Love that for him, man. Fought back through injury to get back healthy, and now he's helping his team win games. Love that. Derek Allen, wide receiver, was at Wabash last 3 years, maybe 4 years, 3 years, I think. Was the True Warrior Football College Warrior Player of the Year last year. And, man, he has had a great season so far. 11 catches on the season, 157 yards, and this great one-handed touchdown catch that he had. I think this was his first catch of the year as well. That's really good. Butler is 6-2 right now, playing some great football. Devin, Derek, keep playing great. Love that for you guys. We're all cheering for you, rooting for you back here at home. Continue to make us proud. Moving on, Grand Valley State is 7-1, and a big part of that is my guy, Therese Reed, right here. Love Therese, man. Just doing some truly, truly great things. He has 2 interceptions on the season. He's one of those guys that is really, really turned into a big contributor for the Lakers up there. So big shout out to Therese and those guys. They're having another great season, man. Love that for him. And matter of fact, he had a game a couple weeks ago against another Warrior legend, our guy, Joe Walker, the former Mr. Football wide receiver winner. Joe has been at, Saginaw Valley State University this year, transferred from Eastern Michigan, and has had a really, really great start to his new school here. 22 catches on the season, 333 yards, 2 touchdowns. Last week he had a win, and they had, he had 6 catches for 78 yards, 1 touchdown. The SVSU is 6-2 on the season. Joe, man, I love it. Keep tearing it up. You're only going to get better from here. Love seeing what you've done so far. Looking forward to see what's coming up for you the rest of the season. Moving on. I don't talk about this guy at all. We have guys all over the place, spread out as far and wide as the eyes can see. And this guy, Daniel Gray, Mount St. Joseph's very own, has been making a really, really great name for himself. I want to say when he was here, he played a lot of offensive line, but at college he's moved over to defense, and he's been a really great player for them. He was a great player for them last year. He helped them win the Heartland Conference title, and right now they're 6-2. And he's a big contributor on the defense. 8 tackles on the season, 1 tackle for loss, a half sack. They just had another big win. Daniel, man, love seeing that from you, man. Keep up the great work, man. I definitely, I hate that I haven't talked about you enough on here, but I promise you I will keep everybody informed on how things are going for you. And last, I like to support Marion University. First of all, Marion University and Warren Central have been great for each other for years. Marion's first All-American was Chris White back in, I want to say it was like 2009, 2010. And they've had a lot of great guys from our program over there. Dexter Taylor was a great guy. Krishawn Hogan, I've already talked about him. There's so many great players in our programs. Cam Utter as well. Why can I not think of Zach Graves as well? Another guy. We've had so many great, talented Warren Central players play for Marion. And we've had a lot of great, talented players play for their arch rival, University of St. Francis Cougars. All right. Of course, we have my guy, Wilmer Cole. We had Zach Gagner, and I want to say Brian Gagner as well. Yeah, Brian Gagner played there. Zach Gagner. You had, God dang it. Corey Terrell played there. Brandon Allman played there. I can go on and on and on. And right now, those two schools played each other this past week. And I had to be there for our guys. I want to say we have a combined like 12 guys on the roster between the two schools. It was truly great, and just seeing them all together like this it makes me happy, man. Like this group picture right here is the greatest in my eyes. All right, we have my man Curtis Faust, Marion Sanders, Sean Pennington, Trey Moore is defensive backs coach. Coach Tutsy is a special teams coordinator, and he helps coach a lot of defense as well, as he's keen to do. Michael Tutsy is a safeties coach there as well now, since he has that free time since he's not with the Colts right now. And then on the other side, well, we also have Paris Green and DJ Ward there for Marion. And then on the flip side, go to St. Francis, you have Marquise Cross, who has been around playing football since, I want to say 2018 or 2019, maybe, when he was a senior. Just really, really, I love that for him so much. He's been a great player for the Cougars. I think he had a sack in the game against Marion, 3 tackles. Was the biggest Warren Central player on the game, I would say. Then besides that, Olin Cruz is there. You have Braylon Maddox, Ladre Harris, Raymond Smith. Raymond Smith is a guy I really love, and I don't talk about enough on this program. I should. Raymond Smith has been with the Cougars for a while now. He's a graduate. He's working on a degree in the medical field, working on his master's degree in the medical field at that. So love that for him. Love that for all of our guys, man. We have just been truly blessed to get so many of our guys playing football at the next level. I cannot tell you guys how happy I am to see so many of our guys there. Get out, go do something and make something of yourself. Get a college degree and make your families proud. Make something of yourself for the future. Just so you're playing football on the east side. There's so much more to life than just this part of town right here. Go out, make something of yourself to show people back home, hey, this opportunity is available to you just like it was available to me. This avenue to success is right there for you. Just got to go out there and take it. Just got to go out there and take it, man. So I'm happy again for all my guys, man. It was great to see everybody right there after the game. And lastly, but certainly not least, I have to talk about this. I've come across so many great players doing this show. And unfortunately, we lost one of those players a couple weeks ago to an unfortunate situation of violence in the city. And a young man, Deron Martin Jr., that's a truly young, great soul, bright young man. Played running back for us. I want to say his senior year was 2021. It may have been 2020. Just turned 21 not very long ago. Just truly sad. He was a nephew of former quarterback Darrell Martin. I hate that for that family so much, man. They've been Darrell's family, and Darrell's been a great friend to me, and I just hate that for him and his family. I was at his balloon release that we had right here at Warrior Stadium a couple weeks ago, and another unfortunate situation happened to this young man, 13-year-old Wilberto Rivera, I want to say junior. Just such a senseless tragedy. He unfortunately was struck by a car, and he eventually succumbed to the injuries, and he passed away, 13 years old. And I bring him up because he was very close to one of our coaches on our staff, wide receiver coach, Coach Shaquille Breeding. And Shaq has just been and he was he's part of Shaq's family. He's Shaq's wife's nephew. And, Shaq has been really, really great with our youth leagues. I see him doing so much with our 13, 12U, and those lower level youth league programs. And they just won a state championship. And, he was coaching with a heavy heart because this happened right in that same time, and I just hate that for him. And I was there for him in support and was right there at his balloon release a couple weeks ago as well. And then there was just so many people out there. It's just 13 years old for Wilberto, 21-year-old for Deron Martin Jr. It's just, man, I just think about these young men losing their lives over something senseless, an accident, whatever. And it's just like, man, at such a young age, gone. I just hate that for those young men. I pray for the families. I hope everybody gets justice that they need. It's just tough, man. It really is tough. It really is tough. And it just, I see these stories all the time. And, coming from this side of town, you just don't know who is going to last, who's going to be around for a long time, and who's not. I mean, we've already had one former player that passed away that was a member of the 2018 football team from an act of gun violence. That was just 6 years ago when he was a member of that team. And I wanted to say he passed away 2 years ago. It's just really, really sad, man. And I hate to do this to bring down such a great episode for you guys, but I had to at least bring it up for people. I hope the family is getting the closure and the help that they need to help get them through these moments. It's not easy right now, but cherish those memories that you had together and just know they're looking down. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Corey Kid Smith. You just watched and listened to another great episode of True Warrior Football. As always, Warrior Band, take us away.